Hi, I'm Thomas, and welcome to a new kind of video I'm posting to YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about the resistance, now I don't mean like the French resistance or any other kind of rebellious group. I mean the resistance as Steven Pressfield defines it in his book, The War of Art. And basically, in a nutshell, it is the fearful voice in your head that wants to keep you in your comfort zone. So, for example, if at the end of a lecture you raise your hand to ask a question and all of a sudden you feel flesh-eating tiger levels of fear, despite the fact there is no flesh-eating tiger in the room, and you feel this level of fear just from asking the question, that's resistance. If, for example, you see a pretty girl across the bar and you start to walk over to her and it starts to feel like you're walking to your execution, this is the resistance. At a very basic level, it can simply look to distract or aid procrastination. At a more advanced level, it can look to play on your anxieties and pose rational thought. For example, if you're working on your novel on Christmas Day, it might say, come on, it's Christmas, it's supposed to be a time for family and connection and warmth and love and all that. You should go out there, you should leave this study, go out into your living room and, reconnect with your siblings and your parents. You haven't seen them in ages. Come on now. If you are a creative, the resistance might come to you in the form of be less controversial, be less quirky, push that deadline back. This piece of work will be better with more time. The thing about resistance is that it only strikes when you're trying to leave your comfort zone. If you want to be a couch potato for the day and watch hours and hours of the same TV show, the resistance isn't going to fight you. It's not going to argue with you. In fact, it'll encourage it. It'll only pipe up when you think, I've wasted 4 hours watching the same TV show. Maybe I should go for a jog or something. That's when the resistance will pipe up, and it'll say something along the lines of, oh, come on, just one more episode, or, it's getting dark out there. It's dangerous to run in the dark, or you've just eaten, you don't want to get a stitch whilst running. Come on, give it a few hours, The good news about the resistance, though, is that awareness is half the battle. And now that you know that there is a self-saboteur inside your head, now that you know that there is fear posing as rational thought, it'll make it much easier to notice it in the future, and much easier to overcome as well. So how to overcome it? Good rule of thumb is to use fear as your compass. As Seth Godin says, the resistance is not something to avoid, but something to seek out. So what are you avoiding? For example, if I ever create a to-do list of the things I need to do today, and I give myself random order to do them in, don't have to do them in any particular order, I often find that the things I'm most scared of, the things I'm avoiding, are always left to last. It's no coincidence that emptying the dishwasher, hanging up the laundry, or taking the bins out are done immediately and done first, because they are easy compared to the tasks that are fraught with resistance. It's no coincidence that blogging or applying to a new job or coming up with Valentine's Day date ideas is left to last, because those ideas have fear at the heart of all of them. They got fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of failure. It's no coincidence they're left to last. I am avoiding them out of fear. So what are you avoiding? What are you afraid of? Once you figure that out, and it'll be unique to you, everyone's fear is a unique melting pot mix to them. The key then to overcoming the resistance is action. Regular action, daily action, if you can manage it. For example, I face my fear of judgment and fear of failure in the form of daily blogging. That might not be right for you. It might be posting your cartoons to Instagram for everyone else to see. It might be jogging. It might be speaking up at every meeting. It might be opening up emotionally. It might be sending personal messages. Whatever it is for you, the key to overcome resistance is action. Putting that voice is just a theory. You're not going to die from opening up emotionally. Now, I say regular action because you are facing a worthy opponent. You are facing an internal opponent who has access to all your weaknesses, who in fact probably knows your weaknesses better than you do. You are facing an opponent who is subtle and conniving, and if you miss a day, it's going to be 10 times harder to come back at it the next day. For example, if I miss a day at blogging, because I'm sick, the resistance will pounce on that and use that excuse to try and stop me in the future. It'll say something like, if you didn't blog that day because you were sick, then you're even sicker today. You shouldn't blog today. Come on, just push it down the line. Take the day off. It'll be fine. So regular action helps to build that resistance-defying muscle. It helps to develop your confidence that you can actually overcome this voice in your head that's only producing theories and not facts. So to the question, why start to dance or combat with the resistance, I have 4 answers at the moment. One, because it's extremely empowering to find out that you can actually do something about that scared voice in your head, that you can actually overcome it. Your most far-fetched goals become that much more achievable, and you gain amazing confidence knowing that you can actually overcome this voice in your head. Numero 2, because life's hard enough without someone inside you pulling the handbrake all the time. An aspiring author is going to be rejected hundreds of times by publishers. It's that rejection will be that much harder when there's that voice in the head being terrified of rejection and saying overall, be scared of things. Reason number 3, the question of what are you doing with your life affects you less when you're daily fighting the resistance, because it's a great cause, to face your fears every day. You feel like it's worthy of your time and effort, and you feel great growth and confidence and leaving your comfort zone. So the question of what are you doing with your life doesn't hit you as hard when you're facing the resistance every day. And then 4, if you don't want to do it for yourself, you could do it for others. Your courage against the resistance might help and inspire others to overcome it themselves. There you go. That's number 4. So starting a new habit is hard. Starting a habit that defies resistance is even harder. For example, I have spoken about my daily blogging in this post. You're probably sick of hearing it at this stage. Blogging, daily blogging. But at this stage, I can't remember the last day I missed. I've consistently blogged every day for as long as I can remember. But it didn't start out like that. I started daily blogging in 2018 in January. But for January, I only blogged 2 days. For February, I only blogged 2 days. For March, I only blogged 2 days. For the 365 days that are in 2018, I only managed to blog a total of 76 days. Pretty poor start for daily blogging, if you can call that daily blogging. But eventually, with persistence, it gets better. It's easier to continue. So if you are struggling with the new habit, don't worry. That is expected. That is part and parcel of a new habit. So just in case you beat yourself up for missing a day or missing 2 days in a row, that's how new habits go. So don't worry about it. Keep going. At some point, you will get a nice long streak, and you'll get it every day. The important thing is, don't beat yourself up. Keep going. If I have piqued your interest in talking about the resistance today, I highly recommend reading Steven Pressfield's The War of Art. It is simply sublime. He outlines and describes overcoming the resistance 10 times better than I ever could. It's a must read. If I had to pick one book to make compulsory reading for the entire planet, I would pick this book. It's quality. It's unreal. Definitely go read it. So now over to you, my good-looking viewer. What can you do to overcome the resistance today? Strike whilst the iron is hot. Hope this helps. Have a nice day.